Today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which Turkey forms an empire. Next week, there'll be a video every 2 days, and they've been pre-recorded. So they'll be 2 days apart, so it'll be just every 2 days. And well, Turkey decides to invade Syria as their first move. Yes, it's a good move, I guess. Maybe. Possibly. Potentially. Well, they move in and quickly make gains, with Syria attempting a counteroffensive over here, but they don't get anywhere. And then Turkey capitulates them by being a turkey. Yes. Oh, I used 2 different shades. That's weird. And well, they decide to annex it. Well, then they decide to try to not make people mad, so they decide to invade an area to make people happy again. So, well, yes, that's a great idea. Honestly, that's their best idea ever. As they start an invasion of Lebanon, Israel, and Jordan, quickly moving into an invasion of Palestine too. Or Israel, or Palestine. Everything's Palestine, or everything's Israel, or there's Palestine and Israel. I don't care. Whatever you think it is, it doesn't matter. Well, they decide to annex them, so don't worry. This is just called Turkey. Yes, Turkey. Yes, they're such a turkey. And well, they took over this. Well, Iran decides to put troops into Iraq. Let's see, will they continue? Well, they decide to declare war on Greece and Bulgaria, because why not Bulgaria? If you're going to do it to Greece, do it to Bulgaria too, I guess they think. Well, maybe this time they'll have a massive, sweeping victory over these smaller nations. Oh wait, they did that now in the Veil last time. Well, and yeah, this didn't go that great, but it did. Well, they take the coast of Bulgaria, and then they move to take Plovdiv, and then they move up to take the capital, and they manage to do that all. And Greece is struggling, because Turkey is a massive nation. 81 million people versus like 20 million. I wonder who wins. Well, actually, this is like probably 10 million maybe? 10 million and probably maybe 20 million in both of the countries at most. And well, they decide to annex. Because who doesn't like annexing land? Well, it seems like Turkey really likes annexing land. I don't know why. Maybe they want the Ottomans back. And I did not do what I wanted to do. And I didn't do what I wanted to do twice. What I meant to do is this. Well, that's probably not the best size to use. But this video is the last video before the pre-recorded videos. Well, they continue their Balkan campaign as they declare war on more Balkan nations. Serbia might not like this one. But I feel like they haven't really got to any nation that could like put up a resistance. With Iran pretending to move troops out of Iraq and into the Caucasus Mountains area. With this, they put a few up there too. But with the reality, they were planning to make a big offensive against Turkey if Turkey tried anything. Which they do. They try to invade Iraq. And well, Armenia, knowing they're going to get invaded, eventually decides to join. Like maybe they can just decide to fight. With Turkey advancing rapidly, but these forces were just moved back a bit, so now they're moving all these advanced units they moved from, well, Baghdad. Probably Mosul. I think Mosul would not be too far north. Well, once the forces meet, well, Turkey, cut off guard, gets pushed back. Well, Armenia and Iran decide to start an invasion. But realizing Turkey is not really worried about it, Turkey continues its advance south into Iraq. And they even start an advance over there. The reason they're not worried about it is because, well, if they try to do something, they're going to lose a much bigger front line. And well, now they make a spearhead towards Baghdad. And then they decide to continue this, and well, they encircle about 2,000 troops from Iran's army. Which, this is a big morale boost. The nation you're helping just crumbling in front of you. Although the bigger embarrassment's probably Armenia, just letting Armenia invade your territory. Like, look how far Armenia is. And they're just, like, basically free to do it. With Turkey deciding to go on a risky move, which is a seize of Iran's oil, basically. Well, they decide to declare war on all the Caucasus nations. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Azerbaijan and Armenia are working together. That's kind of crazy. With Turkey in a bit of a crisis right now, of protests breaking out across its territory. But luckily, they failed to do any damage. Well, Azerbaijan moves units into Armenia, and this time not because they're at war, but because they're trying to attack Turkey. Now that's weirder to say. Into Blisky Falls, and they move up into northern areas. Armenia and Georgia is forced to surrender after this, and then quickly they move to Baku in Azerbaijan. And seeing that they have units in multiple fronts, head with spearheads to the capital, with most of these units quickly meeting over here. And then they use a shared front to move, and they take the capital of Iran. Which, Iran is forced to surrender. So let's see the peace treaty. Rich region of Iran, all of Iraq, and some territories, border territories in the northern part of Iran. And well, they decide to go on a North Africa campaign, which is basically to seize into Libya. Last time I did a Turkey making an empire video, well, it did extend into there. That was 2024. This is 2025, so they get another empire video. Because if I just restricted them to one, then that wouldn't be great. And I can make them better. Honestly, this is probably the best Turkish empire video ever. Well, maybe not the best, but let's say that. As they cross the Suez Canal into Egypt, and the front line can now finally open up, as they quickly make an encirclement before Egypt's mobilized. With them managing to capture the capital, Cairo, within days. With Egypt trying to push them back, but failing. As they make a landing over here. And it quickly extends. With Libya's forces and Egypt's quickly moving to secure this. But when they move, Turkey uses this to make an advance down the Nile. And finally, they capture all the coast. And they manage to force the Egyptians to only be able to fight in one small area. With them having trouble advancing, they decide to go like that. As they were doing this, Egypt, not realizing that was happening, pushed them back there. Which meant they basically captured a bunch of supply lines. Turkey did. And so, well, that's their goal. Well, they finally take the opportunity to make an encirclement with thousands of Egyptian forces. And then they're advancing to Libya. They go like this. and use this to go along the coast. And they managed to take Tripoli. With the surrender of Egypt and Libya being imminent, they both surrender. So let's see the peace treaty. With Egypt now moving on a new move. And this move now is the capture of Saudi Arabia. Yes, they want to capture Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Neither were expecting this. They both thought that Turkey wouldn't do this. Then their forces built up, and Turkey just said it was drills. But was it drills? No. As they make a few inland, like, spearheads like this, one over there and one over here, and one over here. Then, over on the coast areas, they make a nice advance. As these advances moved to connect, and this encircled some of the border troops of Saudi Arabia. And they also decided to seize Kuwait by moving over here. And this was to spearhead right across. And with it being used for strategic areas, as it's used to take Kuwait. But Saudi Arabia's capital's right there about, maybe not right there. And so they moved to encircle it, with them making a partial encirclement. And then moving to fully do it, capturing a few thousand troops. With this being what the northern front looks like, and to the south, they've moved very rapidly. And their armies rapidly approach major cities down the coast, such as Jeddah. Well, Saudi Arabia is forced to surrender, so let's see the surrender terms of the treaty. Alliance forming against them, with Russia, Romania, Moldova, Ukraine, Serbia, and Bosnia all decide to declare war simultaneously. Simultaneously? Probably is the right way of saying it. And well, they all decide to pounce on Turkey. It's a Crimea War 2.0. Except Turkey doesn't have friends. That's kind of sad. Well, Russia starts advancing down. Takes Baku. Some former Soviet Union territories, I guess we could say, because they'll probably annex them if they win. And Serbia's advance and Romania's advance, with Russian forces meeting up into both fronts. Well, they're advancing in multiple areas, but Turkey finally makes a counteroffensive in this front, which leads to more troops being able to get around as they fully mobilize. Within this front, the nations are way too weak to stop it, with Turkey cakewalking over Serbia and Bosnia. And within days, they manage to capture areas of southern Romania. And then they take all of Dubrovia. And then they manage to encircle and capture Bucharest, capturing most of the territory in the Chisinau. And against Russia, they start small advances, and they eventually end up in a stalemate. But it's better than Russian troops being, attacking there from the air. Well, they land in Crimea. I guess my solution to Crimea, give it to Turkey. My other solution, give it to Bulgaria. My other solution, give it to Canada. Yes, I don't know. I just feel like saying that. And yeah, they move in with an advance that manages to take Rostov, then Volgorod, which starts seizing Russian territory as it cuts this off from every other nation. Romania and Moldova surrenders. Ukraine leaves the war, because why not? And Russia decides to sign a peace treaty. So let's see the terms. And now for the Turkey has formed its empire, gaining lands from the Balkans, North Africa, the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula, and even the Caucasus from Russia. parts of Iran, even an oil-rich region. And well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!